Hello and welcome to the Global Fleet Management Voices video series produced by Automotive Fleet magazine. My name is Ralph Morton and I am the UK and European editor for Global Fleet Management. This video series is designed to spotlight key leaders in fleet management. Today, I have the honour to interview Heidi Thompson, Fleet Operations Manager at Mitie, one of the UK's leading facilities management companies. Thank you for joining us, Heidi.
Morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. So perhaps we could start our discussion by congratulating you and the Mitie fleet team for beating your target of a 30% zero emission fleet by Q1, and that I understand is well ahead of schedule. Perhaps you could share the makeup of your fleet and how you have achieved this target.
Yeah, of course. So to start with, let me tell you some things about Mitie. So we're a leading facilities management company. We've got 72,000 colleagues. We specialise in building management, cleaning, security, landscaping, for example. Out of the 72,000 colleagues, 6,500 are fleet drivers, and they'll be ranging from company cars for account managers to vans carrying mowers or ladders to fix things such as boilers, cleaning buildings, replacing lights, for example. So we've got a huge range of services that we provide. To achieve the target, we had to really start at the beginning and understand what our strategy was going to be. How were we going to achieve it? We needed clear, achievable milestones that were easy to reach, so we didn't stretch ourselves too soon, too far. We needed to be adaptable to our strategy with any challenges that we may face. So a key learning is to make sure that you're always available to adapt to the strategy that you have. There'll be things that is not in your control, as we've experienced with things such as vehicle supply on commercial vehicles. So we had to adapt our strategy at that point and go back to our company car offering to our drivers to be able to reach that target. So the vehicles that we had on order, commercial vehicles, we had 250 ordered for last year. We've seen 30 of those. So we knew we weren't going to reach our target by planning on our commercial vehicles. So we revisited our car policy and the offerings that we gave to our employees. We enhanced the offerings, so we added more vehicles at each grade. This then opened up for our car drivers to want to go electric. We gave the communication is key to be able to speak to the drivers, get them to understand about the electric vehicles, understand the benefits to them. So for company car drivers, the benefit to them is a financial benefit in their benefit in kind tax. So explaining that to them and how much money they will save was a huge help. The electric vehicles are much more advanced with technology, things like regenerative braking and all the safety features that come with those. So we're giving our employees a better enhanced vehicle with better technology for less cost to them. So that was also, that communication is talking them through it, hand-holding it, making it as simple as possible for them to transition to electric and understand any of their anxiety towards transitioning to electric and overcoming that with them. It's about getting it as simple as possible for our drivers, so making sure they're not out of pocket, it's an easy transition for them and that they're on board. We have a great leadership team in Mitie and they're on board with our strategy, so we're leading from the top, which is key also for it to be onboarded within the business units.
Okay, Heidi, look, that sounds a really diverse fleet you're operating. And given that you operate one of the UK's largest fleets, you've done 30%, but how difficult will it be to convert the remainder to EVs or zero emission vehicles?
So I think me personally, in my experience, is being able to find the solution to the challenges that you're facing. So for example, we had a challenge around public charging and how we paid for that. And that was only in recent months. So the challenge went to our CEO and he came to me and said, can you find a solution? So we went to our supply network and we found a card that can be used on any public charging point that accepts Visa as a payment mechanism. So we implemented that solution. So straight away that widened the public network for our drivers to be able to use public charge points, not have to pay for it themselves and claim it back, because we can't have our engineers out of pocket for charging the vehicles. So it's overcoming the solution, finding the solution to the challenges that you face on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. It's around talking to your manufacturers on a regular basis to see what's coming to market, and so that they understand what our requirements are as a company, what vehicles we're going to need, what's going to meet our operational needs. So it's about staying close to your suppliers and finding those solutions to challenges as and when you face them, rather than just putting them to one side.
Okay, but do you see a moment when you can get your whole fleet zero emission?
So our strategy is by the end of 2025. So we're working very closely with our business units to understand the operational needs so that we're not impacting them on their service delivery. We're talking, like I said, to manufacturers on a bi-weekly basis so that we can understand what's coming to market. And then we have to look at our specialist vehicles, so our 4x4s, our gritting vehicles, ones with specialist kit fitted into them, to understand how we're going to overcome those challenges. And we will do, by having these regular conversations. It's keeping us in line with how we need to adopt our strategy to meet those demands.
Okay, Heidi, given that you've already had such big experience in decarbonisation of your fleet, what advice would you give to fellow fleet managers about tackling fleet electrification?
I would advise, again, to have a strategy up front. So think about how you're going to do it. Have clear milestones that are achievable. Don't stretch yourself too far, too soon, because you're never going to beat those targets. You need to be able to adapt and change your strategy. So when you face a challenge, you might have to look and review and think of other alternative options to implement certain solutions. So it's just about making sure you don't stretch yourself too far, be able to meet those targets that you're setting yourself, be open to trialing new initiatives, be the first person. So for example, we are the first UK company to have a fully electric gritting vehicle. We had to take that initiative and go for it in order for it to be a success, rather than wait for somebody else to do it. So it's about trying new things. It's about making sure it's simple for your drivers. So make sure you're looking at your charging infrastructure. Where do those vehicles sleep at night? Because that's the best time for them to be charged, or if they're sleeping during the day. Looking at how you can get home chargers into your drivers' home addresses to make it easy for them to charge overnight. And making sure that there's payment mechanisms and processes in place so it's really simple for your drivers and you're not adding any stress or any cost impact to them. It's just keeping it simple.
That's good advice. So do what you can, be brave,
yes,
and keep, I guess, reviewing the situation as new technology comes along to assist you.
Yeah, exactly. And just keep reviewing the car offerings and your policy, and just keep refreshing it, because every quarter we do that in Mitie, and every quarter we have a change potentially of vehicles on the car offerings, because there's better vehicles coming to market with improved range and better lead times, reduced costs. So it's about just constantly reviewing the policy that you're offering.
Thank you, Heidi. So you are a member of the Association of Fleet Professionals. Can you tell us how membership of the AFP assists you in your professional life?
Yeah, it's really good to be part of the AFP Professionals. I find it really supporting myself, being able to discuss challenges with other members. I've also helped other members. So recently we had a conversation around the public charging, and I explained the solution that we put in place. So I know that's helped other companies to overcome their challenges. So I think as a group, we work really well together on helping each other to transition through this journey, being able to give advice to each other, because like myself, I'm the one person in Mitie with the experience to be able to take that to the group and be able to help them and ask them for advice and help as well. So I think it's a really good support network.
Well, we've reached the end of our allotted time, I'm afraid, Heidi, but thank you for a great conversation and sharing your insights. And thank you once again for joining us today, Heidi. It's been a fascinating conversation.
No problem, and you're very welcome.